All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host for this morning's session, Benny Allen, and I'm definitely happy and grateful for all of you being here with me this morning as we take a look at those technicals and the fundamentals to see what we can take advantage of in this awesome Forex market. So without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions. Grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. If you all can hear me this morning, do me a huge favor, drop me a 1 in the chat and we can get this session started. I tell you, I am glad to be back. I was down for the count. Shout out to Ryan for covering a lot of things for me while I was out sick, but I am feeling a whole lot better now, 100%. So I am ready to get on these charts to see what's going on as we close out the month. So please understand, we are towards the end of the month. And guess what? We are also getting towards the end of the quarter, right? Through 3 quarters already of the year. We're getting ready to move into October and that fourth quarter. Looking forward to things to continue to rock and roll for us. So let's go over to trading economics. Eurozone economic sentiment weakens, right? So the economic sentiment indicator in the Euro area dipped slightly to 93.3% September from a revised 93.6 in the previous month. Is marked by the lowest reading since November of 2020, right? Reflecting the ongoing impact of inflationary pressures with the bloc and the European Central Bank's aggressive policy tightening, which continue to dampen overall morale, right? So those lagging effects of all of those rate hikes that we have been following, right? Those of you who have been in a group with us for quite some time, you understand that we have been following this thing so closely with these central banks and these rate hikes. It is very, 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 very important. And we are seeing those effects in the Eurozone, right? So we see Euro shares fall for the 62nd session. Listen, the German bond yield touches new 12-year peak, right? So it surged towards the 2.9% mark, okay? So let's talk about this with these yields, okay? Becoming quite attractive for investors. So we see European shares fall for the 6th consecutive session. We got the German bond touching the new 12-year peak. Anybody in the group want to touch that? Why? Why is that? Why is that? Why is this so attractive right now for those bonds, right? Talk to me. Are you buying bonds, or are you moving your money into gold right now? What are we thinking? Anybody? Nobody touching that this morning? Safer investment, right? But we look at gold as a safe investment too, right? Gold could be a safe haven during times of uncertainty, right? Bonds, safe haven, safer investment. Okay. But why would you choose a bond per se, right? If you had the choice of where you wanted to park your money. Hey, things are a little shaky in the stock market. I want to pull my money out. I've got two options, right? In this example, I want to put it in gold, or I can put it into government bonds, right? Full faith of these global governments. Why would I choose one over the other? What might I be thinking about? No takers. All right. So let me see. Higher yield, right? That's it. Right? Higher yield, right? So, Joy, talking about in regards to, if I move some cash out of the stock market, hey, it's a little shaky. I want to buy at the lows right now. I want to move my money, to more of a safe haven asset. You know, would I choose gold or bonds right now? What's attractive, right? That's the discussion. Um, and Benit said bonds give a higher yield, right? And that's right. You're getting a higher yield, right? Do we receive a yield on gold? Yes or no? No. That's right. That's right. So keep that in mind, right? So it's important, right? We see things playing out technically, but it's always important to understand things from a fundamental perspective as well, especially if we are swing trading. So good job, everybody, good job. So Spain inflation rate accelerates for the third month. So we do have some areas in the Eurozone where that inflation rate is accelerating. Italian manufacturing confidence is near a 3-year low, right? So we talk about it, right? Sentiment, growth, GDP numbers, right? We talk about consumer spending. We talk about inflation. We talk about trade balance. We talk about interest rates. Okay. Australia retail and retail sales, right? Consumer spending and retail sales. Australia retail sales growth below forecast, right? So it came in below the targeted forecast. So let's look at today, the 28th. And we can see here that we've got the German preliminary CPI, waiting on that. Spanish CPI year over year came through 3.25. And then at 8:30, we've got final GDP Q over Q, right? Expected to be at 2.2%. Let's see what happens. And then we've got U.S. unemployment claims expected 214,000. We shall see what that comes through. Then we've got some FOMC members speaking. Okay, Goolsby speaking today, and then we've got Powell speaking at 4 o'clock. So I'm not sure where he's at and what the topic may be. No articles related to it yet, so I have to look that up to see, because sometimes they may be discussing some things that necessarily impact for the market, but they have it as a red folder, so I am interested to find out what that is. Friday, we've got 8:30 CAD GDP, okay, core PCE, okay. Now we know with that core PCE, we know, right, that the Fed, okay, it's the Fed's primary inflation measure, okay. So it different from the CPI, and it only measures goods and services, okay. So that's going to be important tomorrow. And then we've got University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment. So you guys see how this cycles in and cycles out. China, you got manufacturing PMI at 9:30 p.m. after the market will be closed. So any questions on the fundamentals? Go, right? Fourth quarter coming up. All right, to our year. Let's be excited about that. All right, so no questions in regards to the fundamentals. Let's take a look at this DXY. All right. It's important to see where we are ahead of this GDP data. And we can see on a 4-hour, right, we've got a D extension that's been hit. We're back below now, okay? We peaked out, we're back below this 13,159 level. So we're creeping down a bit, we know we've been way overextended, all right? We're getting a reaction, we're at 100% on our stochastic, all right? So that dollar's taking quite a ride. All right, 4-hour again, come down, check a look at the 1 hour, see where we are. Man, it seems like it's been forever for me. Let's see if I have a fib running. Oh, guys, too. I know we talked about it before about the does anybody use the smart analytics feature? I was one of the things that I've been watching off to the side is kind of these smart fibs. Yes, yeah, they're pretty spot on. Now I don't like how right, it'll give you a lot of times a ton of sub fibs and things like that, but it's pretty clean. It's pretty clean. So even if you want to, like, it's because it'll start to give you all of the sub fibs and things like that, and they can junk your charts up. Now I know most of you already know how to lay your fibs, but if you're looking for something quick and fast, right? If you're using the smart analytics, and then if it gives you all those sub fibs and things like that that you may not like, just come down and just wherever it started at, just drop your smart fib like that, right? And oops, and then just run them like you normally do. If you want just a cross-check reference on where you need to be, and just like that. All right, everybody follow me on that. Drop me a 1. Let's use that technology. All right, if you got it, let's use it. Okay. run your support and resistance levels from the top down, right? Like we teach, and then just drop that, use those smart analytics. Bam, there we go. All right, had that little smart trader. So here we are in the correction on this dollar coming in at this 382. Let's continue to see if we get a deeper correction. Again, 8:30, we've got GDP numbers coming out for the United States and unemployment at the same time. All right, so if you're playing around on the lower time frames, scalping, doing things like that, please be aware, right? That's some pretty big uh, data coming out today at 8:30. All right, so just trade and navigate wisely. All right, so that's where we are on the DXY. Let's move into, as a matter of fact, let's take a look at some of these dollar pairs ahead of the data. We'll take a look at this dollar yen. Okay. Now we are moving right along. Okay. This is going to be quite interesting as we approach that 150 level. Okay, that we know that the Bank of Japan is monitoring. Okay, we see what happened last time, not too long after it hit that 150 level. We got a huge correction in the yen. Okay, now you hear the rhetoric back and forth. Bank of Japan jawboning. Is not the fact that it's moving there, is how it's moving there, the speed and pace in which it's moving towards that 150. Right, and so just trade with caution. If you've been in this dollar yen long, right, we have moved quite a ways off that 61.8. That is a monster, right? So at the high point, we're around 1188, 1147. Now, depending on the style of trader you are, do you have to hold a trade that long? No, you may be in and out of that. What's key when we post these big setups is to know that what we're saying is that you have 1,380 pips of buying potential. Everybody follow me on that? Drop me a 2 in the chat. It's very important, okay? Because you don't have to say, I feel bad, something's wrong with me, I can't stand these trades. That's not the point, right? The point is, number one, getting your direction right, okay? Everybody follow me on that? Drop me a 3. Got to get the direction right. That's first and foremost, right? We want to try to get our direction right. So that's what this is telling you. Now, whether or not you trade this, on a lower time frame, is 15-minute, 5-minute, 1 minute, however you trade, is totally up to you. This is just saying, hey, we've got over 1,300 pips of buying potential. Okay. That's very, very important to understand. I want to make sure I'm clear on it. Okay, so there's multiple ways to skin a cat, but it doesn't matter if we don't get the direction right. Okay. So that's where we are. We're approaching that 150 level. It doesn't seem too long ago that we were sitting at that 61. Okay, price accelerated. So that's where we are on the dollar yen. 4 hour. No, right? Know that we're getting up to some high levels. This just popped in this 4 hour resistance. Okay. Should be quite interesting with this GDP data coming up. I haven't read any preliminary reports on what the expectation is. We know the forecast is 2.2%, but I haven't read any of the ins and outs on it. So here we are on the 4. So that's telling me on the 1, we probably had some type of 80-20 or something like that, right? Or at least somewhere in that area. Let me zoom out and see what we got. Yep. So this is a 1 hour. Okay. So let's see what direction, okay, price wants to move after the data this morning. But we know we've seen the DXY corrected. All right. And we know here we're in that 80-20 zone. Okay, on this dollar yen on a 1 hour. Okay, so let's see what happens with the data. All right. Yeah. Just like, okay. Now we've got a stochastic, right? See how we're kind of hovering at this level? We got a stochastic in the buy zone on the 1. So as always with these, be patient. Be patient. Okay. Touch a TP2. No, we're approaching 150. Right, it could go either way. Right now, and then they make that push to 150, right, and then come down. All right, so let me bring this target down at 150 level. Okay. Pretty fascinating. We've been pretty much spot on with this. All right, good job, team. Now, so we would like to see if we can start to get a correction. Well, let's see how that plays out. Not ready to go on that just yet. If you play in the zone, you probably already, if you spotted this, you probably already had a small position in. That's cool. That you let me float, testing the waters, but I don't. So a little bit. Questions on the dollar yen? You know? All right. So just know, when you have something like GDP data and things like that, if it misses that forecast, or it comes in way above forecast, above expectations, it could GDP numbers could be a mover. It could be a mover. All right. So if you're not involved in this yet, right? Any type of if you're long and you're playing the overall swing, cool, right? You should be up quite a bit. You should be managing your trade. Your stop should be well into profit by now. But if you're not doing anything and you're looking at this 80-20, if it moves to the downside, it could move quick. Don't worry about it. Wait for pullbacks and continue. All right. So that's the dollar yen. Okay. Dollar Swissy. Man. All right. We're pretty good on that. Pretty good on that. Look at that move. Okay, we're way overextended now. Way overextended. We haven't even from the daily perspective, and this is a daily chart, right? Haven't even formed a new swing high yet. That's how much this has been accelerated to the upside. This market just continues to amaze me. Right? But look where we are, everybody. Look where we are ahead of the data. Okay. So if you've dripped the trade in, right? How it would play this one. If you spotted this 80-20 while you were doing your charts, you drip a trade in, see how this reacted to that resistance. We're putting that stop right above that resistance level, right? Trade it small. We're ahead of major US data at 8:30. Okay, so I'm trading that small, but dripping my position in just above the high. Okay, see what happens, see where it can take. Okay, so this is another potential 80-20 scenario. And we run into a daily resistance level now. So these are lining up pretty decent. I'm interested in to see what happens at 8:30. Okay. Right. All we can do is identify the setups so that we're in position, and then we make our decisions as traders and managers of money. Okay. Two. All right. Okay, so where are we now? So that's coming right back to the edge of that 80-20 zone now. From there, you're looking at 220, 220, 300 to TP2. Let's see what the US dollar has in store for us. Okay. And of course, if you are a buyer of the US dollar, then you're just waiting for this correction to a low price. All right, let's see what's going on the one. Yep. Sitting up there pretty good. Let's get cut off. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Good reaction. It's a good reaction. All right. So whether you're planning on the 4 hour or the 1 hour, this is one to keep your eye on. Right? So be patient. Now, this is where you know, journaling, right? And your journaling doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could be a notebook, just a notepad or whatever. But this is where I found myself getting in trouble over the years is when, you know, I would be involved in some good trades and they would make their run and then I would be out sitting on the sidelines and I would be itching to get involved in other trades that really weren't a part of my trade plan. I just wanted to feel like I was in the markets. Is that happening to anybody where you just feel like you have to be in the markets taking a trade? Just me. Okay. Yep.
Guilty.
Yeah, for sure. So, but that's where I would get myself in trouble. And my trading, like when you look at it, like from a technical perspective, it was just like one big consolidation, one big range, and I couldn't break out and get that equity curve to swing to the upside because of that, and not controlling my emotions. And then I look and I'm just like, man, I would get discouraged. And a few days later, like these setups, when I look back, like, man, everything was setting up for me. Like sometimes we have to just go on pause and just wait, right? Because those of you who've been with us for a while, like how many times do we see these setups continuously occur? But there is a lag there. I mean, there is a period of time where you do have to wait. You will not be in the market. You have to wait. And your job at that point is just to keep your eyes on your charts, keep your eyes on your fundamentals to see when the next opportunity is. Right. So don't, and that's when I used to, and every once in a while it creeps back in. Um, um, it creep back, I would then start looking like maybe I could, get down to some other time frames, do some stuff, find some other strategies, this and that, instead of just waiting. Reason how you feeling about this NCD CAD trade? I don't trade this pair. It's all right if your trade management is on point. It's just another trade. It's just another trade. And like you say, realizing that it's something that you usually don't trade, right? So it's all good. It's all good. You know. All right. So that's the dollar Swiss. Any questions? Yeah. Yeah. Reach your risk management good on that setup? Nope. And you don't usually trade it? Uh, read the best traders in the world stick to 1 to 3 pairs. That's a lot of great traders in the world. They don't all do that. They don't all do that. That depends on what you read. Trade Forex easy. Yeah. That's somebody's opinion. That's somebody's opinion. Right? Because I can show you just as many publications that is the opposite. Yeah. So all right. All right, that's that there. It's all good. Like those are it's just a mental game of trading, everybody. It's just a mental game of trading. That's right. That's why risk management is important. Right? That's why the risk management is so important. Okay. Let's look at this this dollar CAD. Okay, so off the 4-hour, deep retracement is U-turns. Okay, but this is the dollar CAD, right? It kind of bounces all over the place. All right, it could be like the Euro GBP at times. Okay, right next to each other. You're in the Euro GBP. We'll take a look at that too. We'll take a look at that. Right. So, right across the board, there's so many similarities, right? It could get, it has its times where it gives you a good trend and then it has to figure itself out, right? So this one U-turn within the boundary though, this is gonna all come down to that the news at 8:30 to see which way this wants to go. I'm not involved in this at all, but news at 8:30, and then we've got the GDP data for Canada on Friday as well. So back to back. So this is where we are. Let me move up to the higher time frame to see what's all right. So it's kind of, it's kind of just hovering at that 135 level. All right. This is it's not my favorite pair to trade at times, but it can make you good money. So that's where we are on the one. I'm just tracking that trend line break. It's a beautiful retest and the move. It's just a matter of does it want to continue long. Okay. So if you're playing an ABCD wave to the upside on the dollar CAD right now, it's good. But both of these pairs are fairly strong. Right? Fairly strong. So it may not be the most ideal, but we'll see how it plays out. So that's the dollar CAD. Let's take a look at the dollar MEX, dollar peso. See where we are. So this has been moving pretty good. And posted this one in the Discord off the swing. It's really gotten going since then. Right? That's a beautiful move. Beautiful move there. Yeah. Donette, have you been trading this one?
I didn't trade it this week, but I've been looking at it.
Yeah, it's starting to. When that dollar started to pick up, it started to come off the lows. It was sitting, pretty stagnant for a while, and then it started to make a pretty good move off the low. Here's a swing that I caught,
Nice.
technically on a daily. You see that? That's moving pretty good. So yeah, that's I appreciate you putting me on to that one.
It pays well.
Yeah, it does. And some of the traders that I follow, they trade it on the regular. I just had never, taken a serious look at it, but makes sense. So that's a good swing there. That's a really good swing. So we'll continue to follow that. Let's jump up and take a look at some of these. Matter of fact, let's go, Reese. Let's go to this NZD cat. Let's take a look and see what's going on. Oh yeah, it's just rain. It's trapped, eh? Yeah. So we've got let me see. We got GDP coming out from Canada. Let me see what's going on with crude. Traded above $93 a barrel. We'll take a look at that. Right, so it has 95. I'm looking for a continued strength on that one. So I'm just wondering I think my opinion at this move, like it's just you can see here on the daily, it's just ranging. That's what's frustrating, is that we're ranging right now. This was the move on the 1 hour. Yeah, this thing is just bound. Oh, it gave us a good push down and moved back up. Yeah, that's the worst. That's the worst. So it's continuing to stay. Continue to stay. Right. So just continue to follow it. Right. I know you said you traded a good, pretty decent size. But just continue to monitor it. It's still within the AB boundary. Right. That moved down pretty good. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, I hope it does too. We got a 55 pip stop on that. Right. So Remember, guys, hey, if you're in it and you trade it, right, we take our risk percentage divided by our stop, right? So 0.5%, 0.25%, 1%, you know. So we'll continue to monitor that one. That one, but that one's just ranging. But I'm hoping that we get some GDP numbers that's good out of Canada, get the oil price to continue to move to the upside, and we'll see what happens with that. All right. Okay. So that's where we are now. So how you getting there, my man? How you getting there? uh, so this let's take a look at this Aussie CAD, right? So we're bearish, but we're into a key level here. All right, we've been bearish for quite some time on this Aussie CAD. So pull back, didn't quite get a 50%. And you can see it, right? We're getting some pushback. Huge bearish candle down. And you can see it's taking it back. So let's see what happens at this 80, what's that, 86.26 level. See if it holds. See how it's pulled back, past support, becoming future resistance, right? 4 hours in the buy zone, dailies in the buy zone. This has been a huge move, right? I'm still expecting a D extension to be hit. Okay. It's just taking its time. Just taking its time. The market moves in waves, right? And when we're trading, we have to think to ourselves, right? Yes, it's moving bullish now. Okay. Now, depending on your time frame that you trade on the 5 minute, right? That's a huge move. On a 4 hour, not so much. Right? On a daily, not so much. But if you're on a 5 minute, 1 minute, that's a big move. Right? That's moving bullish to you right now. But at the end of the day, over the long-term trend, we're still making lower lows and lower highs, right? It moved here too. Okay. 60 pips before turning over. Right? It moved to the upside here too. 75 pips or so before turning over. Right? So just that understanding that the market moves in waves, but we still are trying to get to this lower time frame. I mean, this lower target is 1.68 level there. Okay. So, but okay, for our intraday traders, just know we're at 86.26. Has support becoming future resistance. Let's see what happens at this level. Okay, on the Aussie CAD. So just continuing to move down for the most part, lower lows, lower highs, right? No reason for me right now to think anything different, right? So I have to hold to my directional bias. Okay, so that's where we are. Any questions on the Aussie CAD? Yep. No. All right. It's Ozzy Swissy. Play it out for us. Okay. Play it out for us. Okay. Now you guys are already on top of this. I'm just going through to take a look because I've been under the weather. But it's a nice move, 58.55. We've broken above that level. Okay. So right, the market moves in ways we know, right? For what was it, for like a month or so? Right? We saw a lot of strength in that Swiss franc. You know, now it's not his turn anymore. Right? We got pairs moving against it. See? And our fibs and the zones that we trade kind of helps us to anticipate the possibility of that happening. So we'll do TP2 now on that one. Okay. And then when you start to look across the board, okay, you can see that a lot of pairs are moving against that Swiss franc. Okay. So it's no longer the bully anymore. Right. Getting some relief, and you can see things are pushing long. Okay. And this is the 4 hours moving pretty good, and we've got a stochastic deposit. So we're probably going to get a continuations long, right? After corrections. All right. So that move played out. That move played out. So this has been just taking it. Now you might have entered on a different day or whatever, but just what's that? August, right? It's just been moving, right? Okay. Slower pair, yes, it is. But It moved in our direction, right? So great job, great work, team, on that one. Any questions on the Aussie Swiss? Okay. All right. So let's look at it, right? So we go to something like the cash Swiss. Okay. And this is why. So we look at all the pairs across the board, right? Because it allows us to control smaller positions and accumulate pips, right? And you can see how things flow. So the Aussie Swiss we just saw was moving up. Boom, moving up. Commodity currency versus the safe haven, right? Now, okay, we're moving up on the CAD Swiss, right? It's like it just moves in cycles, right? Look at that. Okay, we've come back to a pretty high level. Look at that there, 68.30, right off the lows. Okay, look here. You guys remember that when that happened? See? Okay. So we broke out of our consolidation there, right? Over 200 pips. So now look, what do we have, everybody? What do we have? Okay. See, it was a great swing for sure. If we just practice patience and wait for our zones, okay, we'll come out all right. Okay. And we use proper risk management, we'll come out good. We'll come out good. See? Right. So you got another potential scenario. Okay. Do you have to trade them all? No, you don't. Okay. But the opportunities are there. Okay. It's totally up to you. So we want to see if we could get price to correct. Are we going to pull back and move down? All right. Know that we've got CAD data tomorrow. See here? Look at even on your 15, right? I got all types of stuff rolling. Hold on a second. So a while ago. Okay. Do we pull back and continue down? We'll see what happens. But look how long this has been running for us, right? You guys remember the initial setup? Right? It's a long time ago now. Look at that 60 pip trade. Look how much that carried through and how many fib sequences it's been. Trust and believe in yourself. Believe in the hard work that you're putting in. Be patient. Be patient. This is different here. We're not dipping in and out of trades. Okay. Questions on the CAD Swiss? Yeah, yeah. I was I gotta wait for this one too. I'm Ryan probably is still sitting this one on a longer swing because we looked at it off the lows from the higher time frame, right? That it was at those all time, lows pretty much, and it just kept ranging. Look at that, and then it picked up, right? Caught bids. Okay, so now, like guys, 99.9% of the stuff that you see, a lot of times is evolving around scalping. Okay, a lot of the metrics that people are quoting are claiming 99% of the time is around scalping. Okay. 5-minute charts, 1-minute charts, things like that is not what we're doing. That's not what they're talking about. A lot of the things that you read is not, right. So just do your research. You'll see what I'm saying. Like it's not this. Right? It's not that. And I say that because when I learned, I was kind of it was a lot of it was confusing with certain stats and certain numbers and things like that, and the amount of trades that people were taking versus what I was taking, and that was a little confusing to me because and I had to realize like, well, if they're not what the data that they're gathering is not formulated from this style of trading. It's not. It's not. Okay. Yeah, I'm trading one or two pairs potentially. Like if I'm day trading, I can see that. Yeah, you're day trading. You're on 5-minute charts. Like how many? There's people that take 10, 15 trades a day, right? Depending on the type of day trader they are. That's not what we're doing here, right? We're eating all of that stuff up like Pac-Man as the trade makes progress, right? Those trades are getting. That's all within these candles. Like we're not doing that, right? We're in and we're riding this out. Yep, it went straight up from those lows. So no, we're not. Those aren't the type of transactions. That's why I'm not. That's why you don't hear me hardly ever talk about the spread this, the spread that. I got slipped this, I got slipped that, because I don't care because I'm swing trading. That's not my focus. If I was day trading, yeah, those things become my concern. But I don't care about that as a swing trader. I don't care about a pinpoint entry as a swing trader. Right? You hear us talk a lot about, hey, what zone are we trading? Because I'm trading the zone. Everybody follow me and drop me a 2 in the chat. That's very important because it can become confusing if you're doing your research, and you're reading different articles and you're in different trade groups, and conversations in different communities and all of that stuff. Like we don't talk about that type of stuff because it really doesn't apply to what we're doing. Why? Like it doesn't apply if I take a trade, if a trade hits my 80-20 zone or my 61-8 zone during the agent session at 10 o'clock. Doesn't matter to me. I don't. I'm taking a trade, or if a trade hits my buy limit, you know, during the New York session, like I don't care. I don't care. All right. So that's the cash Swiss. That's been a pretty good mover. This Aussie yen, okay. Right? It's just been a grind, right? But it's still been a grind, right? To the upside. Right? And the one thing that you'll notice, guys, is when you're journaling, you'll start to notice, like, man, I've got a ton of transactions. Like, why? Like, why so many transactions? And is that really increasing my equity curve in the direction that I want it to? And then you have to always ask yourself that question, why? Like, what could I do different? Why am I doing? Okay, what's my thought process? Okay, so right here's a ABCD wave. Okay, so we're looking for another one. Okay, and until that Bank of Japan does something in regards to their monetary policies, which they're talking about 2024 now. Will they intervene if it gets too out of control, right? If prices run too high, it puts a lot of pressure on that yen. Yes, they've made it well known that they will do that. Prices will correct, and we'll see it happen on the charts. Okay, but hey, at the end of the day, we use proper risk management. Don't worry about it. But right now, fundamentally, right, until things change, we are long against these yen pairs. I mean, against the yen. Okay, So this is the grinding. Right? It's grinding. And hey, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay. This thought process is everything. If I just entered this trade long, say off this 50%, and I'm long. Okay. I'm gonna find out I'm wrong on that trade when. Somebody tell me. When would I find out if I'm wrong on this trade? If it takes out the A, right? If it hits my stop. Okay. If it takes out that A, or if I'm playing it below my C, right? Because I like a tighter stop. That's what I'm going to find out. All your C is right is a lower high, right? Think about that. Low, higher low, right? Right now, this is a higher low. Okay. That's what it's good. That's what I'm wrong. Right. And if we all can agree upon that, we have to look at ourselves and look at our trading and say, well, why did I jump out of that trade before it hit the extension? It did hit my stop, right? I manually took myself out of that trade. Why? Okay. So this one is fear. That's right. It's fear. I've been there. I know. It creeps in on all of us time to time. It does. Right? And I'm talking about this today to know that it's not your strategy. That's not what it is. Right? Here's a larger fib here. Right? The larger angle. Right? And then this is just the sub fibs running. That's C to D push. Right? Okay. So it just depends on how granular you want to get with the move. Right? Oftentimes it's not your strategy. It's what's going on inside your head. So that's the Aussie yen. We have a on an Aussie NZD. Never the prettiest pair. But we are at some lows here. There's 107.24. Okay. We've gotten a good push down. So we come here at the daily, take a look at it. Okay. Question is, does that level hold? Oversold on the daily. Okay. Oversold. So do we get some momentum to the upside? Maybe it's just for a correction and then it'll eventually push lower. But if we come down to the 4 and we look at the 4-hour fib, all right, we're getting into that 80-20 zone. Okay. Because we know support and resistance is in a line as a zone. Okay. We just mark it this way to keep our charts clear. But we're in this zone where we may start to see price reverse a bit. Okay. And pushes long. Okay. So just look at the scenarios that we've drawn up this morning. Right? Doesn't take long for the market to reset and for new opportunities to occur. Okay. So if you missed all the other opportunities, right? If you just started in the group yesterday, don't worry, because we're doing the same thing over and over and over again. Here we are on the okay. Here we are on the one. It's ranging. It's got to go somewhere. Right? It's gonna go somewhere off this level. Now, so you may be. It all depends on how you see the market the best, right? So we're at support. Now, if you're saying, hey, if I was just looking at this as support and resistance, okay, follow me closely. If I'm coming down to this level, and if I didn't even use this fib to the downside, I know I'm at support. There's a possibility of a reversal. So if I cleared this off, like so, okay, here I am on the 4, but I'll leave that on and I'll go to the lower top, like this. Okay. And I come to my 1 or my 15, Reese uses the 30, right? You can say, you know what? If the support holds and I get a move to the upside, right, then I'm not going to worry about my fib to the downside. I'm looking at support and resistance. Follow me. Okay. Oops. I usually do that one. Wicks it too close. Okay. Now, there. If that support holds, saw the fib on the 4, we know, hey, it's moving into a potential 80-20. Well, okay. Then I need for this to move like so. Hold, show me you want to reverse and pull back. Because then I'm just going to run my fib like this. Have your idea of targets and zones. Like so. That becomes my play. Okay. That's just playing reversals off of support and resistance levels. That's what you can look for if you need additional confirmations and you're looking for reversals off of key levels. Everybody follow me on that? One in the chat, please. Okay. Now you may play that, right? If I'm a day trader, I may play that on my 5-minute. I know where I am. Clear this chart out. Take this off. You guys can see I've been playing around with this analytics stuff. So I know I'm at this level. Okay. If I'm playing this off the 5, okay, I'll just run my trend line off this level. Do that too. Right? Like that. Okay. So what I want to see price start to move. Okay. I want to see it move up. Let me right. So look. Let's see price move. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. If I'm looking for smaller setups and things like that, that's what I would play. And you might be done here. You might say, you know what? That's my trade. I'm out. Right? I'm on a 5-minute chart. I'm out. I played that wave. I'm done. Okay. It's 21 pips. Stop loss B. Call it 9, 10 pips. That might be your trade setup. Depends on what you like. Okay. Any questions on that? right? Sometimes you might just be looking, hey, I just want to play one wave off that level, off that key level, right? Because we know it can make that ABCD wave like that, then it can turn right over, just like that. But you're out. You're out of the position. Okay? That's how I would day trade that. All right. If that's your thing, not my thing for the most part anymore. Right? More so love swing trading, letting the trades just do what they do. Too busy, too busy to day trade. All right. That's that. We'll take a look at this this Aussie dollar. Okay. So you can see our 4 hour, right? It's been moving down clean. Look, ABCD wave, getting close to that daily D extension, and we're pulling back now, right? So this is like another setup coming off that B boundary, coming off that support. It's pushing higher. So if you're saying, hey, I'm short the Aussie dollar, and you're playing off your 4 hour chart, you wanted to get to a high price so you can short. Okay. Here, this is the daily. And you can see, right, in the grand scheme of things, we're getting the reaction, right? It's moving back higher, but at the end of the day, we're closing in on this D extension. So we're finally getting, coming from that double bottom, we're getting close, right? That's 540 to that D extension. Right now, we pulled back to 467 on that. Okay. So, right, I got going on here. Do this and then we'll wrap it up. And make sure, there we go. Right. So here we are. Okay. On your 1 hour, you got an 80-20 scenario, and it just keeps testing that 63-64 level. Right. So I don't know if we'll carry all the way back to the 382. Have I seen it before? Yes. It just depends, right? 830 GDP data. If it's time for that dollar to correct, right, it could correct in a hurry. That'll push this up. It'll push that higher. So there's no, keep an eye on this Aussie dollar. So you see here how we come down to the 15. So we know we just saw a 4 hour B boundary, right? So look at your something like your 5 minute chart. You guys see how you can play that reversal, those B boundary reversals if you're day trading, if that's your thing. We got something for everybody, right? If that's what you want, right? We primarily swing trade. Right. But it just shows you, I'm showing you as just an example that no matter what you do, the market's gonna move in waves. Right. That's why I said that we just gobble these smaller trades up, these day trades, we gobble them up on the way on our C to D or our 80-20. We gobble it up anyway. Right. But if this is your thing and you want to catch smaller waves, right? Look at that. It's moving in waves. So if this is going to continue to move up, okay, my play is off this pullback. If I can get it to pull back into my sweet spot and then trade it long. So you can either do that, be in and out, or you can say, I've got an 80-20 scenario here potentially, and I'm trading my zone. And yes, I'm dripping in at 1/4%, 0.5%, 1%, and I'm just gonna let it ride. That's the difference. Right? That's the difference. Okay. Right. So if it were to carry way back up to that 382, there's gonna be a lot of those 5 minute scenarios, right? If it's going to go that far, it's going to be a lot of those scenarios, right? Questions on anything that we covered today? Hope we learned a little something.
You gonna do that Euro GBP?
Yeah, I'll take a look at it real quick. Yep. My bad. Yep. Still waving, eh? You still holding it long, Joy?
Yeah, I actually took a second entry off the beginning of that candle.
Okay. Yep. So that's sitting there, right? If that's going to continue long, that's lining up pretty nice. Looks like it. We got a stochastic in the buy zone on the 4. We're in our sweet spot, right? At the edge of that sweet spot zone. And all you can do is, hey, am I gonna get another wave? Make the play. Make the play. Appreciate you reminding me on that one. All right, here we are on the 1. If we're gonna continue long, we're gonna do it within that AB boundary. Questions? Nope. Yeah. Ray said you always use a 5 candle. Always use a 5 candle. Yep. That's cool. That's cool because that's gonna confirm your support or resistance. That's cool. If you get that early, that early entry off of that 5 candle formation off of support or resistance level, that's fine too, right? Or you can let it run a little bit. Come back to you. All right, no questions. That's it. You guys sure? I'm glad to be back.
Thank you for being back.
What'd you say?
Thank you for being back.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you guys for being here, being a part of the group. I appreciate you. All right, Michelle.
You're back.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Michelle, question. Oh, must be an accident. All right, everybody. Have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Keep your eye on the Discord. All right. GDP data, 8:30. Unemployment claims, 8:30 for the United States. Bye, everybody.